Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing fine. Today's video is about the summer internship at Oracle 2023, and I, being the current summer intern for 2023, is here to tell you about various aspects of this internship, including the procedure, requirements, and prerequisites you have to keep in mind before you apply in this internship. So let's not waste anybody's time and move further. Here is our next slide, and this slide consists of the requirements, the process of selection, and how and when to apply. So let's move first to the requirements. So as per my university's requirements, or the requirements which the company demanded was the eligibility criteria was that your CGPA, overall CGPA up till the current semester should be 7.0 or above and no active backlogs in any semester, because Oracle is such a company where it prefers that there should be no active backlogs and at least minimum criteria of CGPA is 7.0. So next is the course eligibility for this internship is that any student, any third year student of BTech of CS, IT, ECEE first semester can apply for this internship, because this internship will be like in your campus. You will be informed when the company has arrived and what are its requirements. So the third point is internship period. The internship period is from May to June, and mostly it's like mid-May to mid of July, like from July 10 or 12 it finishes off. So these are the requirements, and then let's move on to the process of selection. As per my college experience or as per my on-campus selection, I'm telling this overall video. So if there is a difference in your college or university, then you have to be aware about that too. So the first is through online assessment round. So there will be OA round, of course, for any internship or placement company. There will be a OA round. There might be one OA round. There might be two OA rounds. So it depends, right? So as per my online assessment round, there were two questions, two coding questions, one SQL question, and around 30 to 25 MCQs were asked in first OA round. There was only a single OA round for Oracle. And as per my friends have told, for other companies who have been selected, they have told that OA rounds may differ from company to company. So the thing where I can say that for online assessment round, you have to take care that your coding is at least you are having conceptual knowledge, you are having the DSA knowledge, you are having the SQL queries language, like because Oracle mostly has about query language and like write a query on this, what are joins and etc. Like you have to have an SQL and DBMS knowledge too. Apart from this, you have to have languages knowledge like C++, Java, because they ask a lot about Java. So this is the requirement for online assessment round. Next were two technical round based selection which I faced. First was comparatively easy, where they asked me to write pseudo codes of certain codes, and they asked me few questions about my like past internships, past projects, if there is any, and like I can say that for the first technical round, they will ask you about everything about your resume. So I will say, don't write anything which you don't know. So because if you don't know and you're writing Python and they will ask Python, then it will be not good for you. So don't write anything except what you know and what you have really done on your own. Okay, so moving on to the second technical round. Second technical round was about they gave me just two coding questions right on my screen, and the interviewer was sitting just before, right before me, and he asked me to solve those questions. And the questions consist of dynamic programming. One was of dynamic programming, and other was a comparatively easy stack and queue question. So still, because of dynamic programming, on my experience, I would say that I was able to do it, but still I was having a better approach for it. So I just told the interviewer that we can also do this question like that. And basically, the technical two round consists of how you interact with your interviewer. This is the very important point, because if you don't know that, if the interviewer feels like this person knows the answer, but this person don't know how to communicate, then this will be a negative impact on your overall interview. So you have to communicate with the interviewer, you have to speak a lot with your interviewer, you have to tell him your likes and dislikes and what do you feel on the current topic. So you have to be very honest. This is the only opinion for technical rounds, I would suggest. Then moving on to two technical rounds, the results were declared soon, and then I was moved on to the HR round, which I was not very much sure whether this is an HR or whether this is a technical three round. But when I witnessed the HR, it was an HR round, and the HR was very sweet. The interviewers, the technical round interviewers were very sweet. They helped me a lot. Like if there was anything which I didn't knew, they helped me that you have to do this like that, and you have to keep this in mind. So it was basically more like a friendly communication rather than an interview because of my communication skills. So this is the only suggestion that if you're preparing for any company, not only a recruiter, for any company, you have to be very good at your communication skills. Okay. So now moving on to the HR round, as I told you. So HR was very sweet. He asked me various condition-based questions like if you are in this condition, if your employee is doing this, and how will you behave, how will you address this thing, and what are your likes and dislikes, why do you like this thing, what are your likes and dislikes about your university or your college, and what do you think there is a biggest cause for problem, or what is the biggest problem in your country, like questions like which are very like a round of communication from both the ends. It was just this and no technical questions. So HR round is all about this, and they test your confidence level, your your knowledge, your skills to answer, and your body language, your confidence, and your words. So this is something I would say that you have to be prepared for overall interview. So this was all about process of selection, and now moving on to how and when to apply. So there are two procedures for this. There are many off-campus opportunities for the same role, but I would suggest if in your college there is an on-campus placement for this company, then please apply to on-campus placement because the procedure becomes easy and your resume selection becomes easy when you apply on campus as compared to off campus, because in off campus there's always an ambiguity whether your resume will be selected or whether not. Okay, so this was all about requirements, process of selection, how and when to apply. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try to answer each and every doubt of yours. Thank you. So moving on to our next slide, which is the resources used and syllabus. So the resources, these resources are up to my experience and my level of preparation, which I'm still like preparing. So I would say that for a beginner or a new person, you can go for these resources. And if you are having some other schedule, other platforms on which you are preparing, the thing is keep on going on that. Okay, because if you suddenly change anything what you are preparing, then it might cause ambiguity what to prepare and how to prepare the thing. So you don't need to change your resource, but you can just take a help. If anything helps right there in the slide, you can get a help from there. So the first resource is LeetCode and InterviewBit. So LeetCode is a platform which everyone knows because it consists of each and every type of problem. Like mostly problems for internship and placements are asked from this. Like mostly they are relevant from LeetCode because this consists of easy, medium, and hard questions. And you can go on the LeetCode website. You can register yourself, sign yourself, and then you can practice hundreds of questions. And even if you don't get any much time to solve 3 or 4 questions a day, you can at least solve the daily challenges, which are like a kind of fun activity, which you learn a lot in that. So you have to keep a hands on lead code. And second is interview bit. As per my experience, interview bit is a good platform for preparing DBMS and like other subjects and other things. And in fact, DS is also good. And their blogs and certain updates they keep on their website is also good. So you can go for these two platforms. Then moving on to youtube channel, I would suggest for a theoretical study you can go for Gate Smashers. For dynamic programming, go for Aditya Verma because he is a person, he will make you understand all the concepts easily, and he is a person who can make dynamic programming a fun loving subject for you, because many students face a lot of difficulty in solving simple questions of dynamic programming. And you know what, like I was the one who was really suffering from dynamic programming because it was not an easy thing, and still it is not. So still I sometimes take help from his YouTube channel, at least for clearing what exactly the question is saying. Then is the take you forward. As we know, the striver. Striver is well-known person for everyone. You can go for his YouTube videos because and take you forward. If you are not able to understand his YouTube videos or something you're facing difficulties, as I face, you can go for his 100 days DSS sheet. This sheet is really one of the most useful tool I would suggest for preparation, because if you have a consistent hands-on like what all you have covered and what all is left, that is something which matters a lot. So you can go for this DSA sheet, and also if you are not still liking the DSA sheet of Take You Forward, you can go for Love Bubber. The Love Bubber also has a good DSA sheet. Then moving on to Anuj Bhaiya, this is one of my favorite recommendation. Anuj Bhaiya is the YouTube channel which you can go for Java, which you can go for certain DSA concepts which other YouTube channels are not able to explain properly. Like I really personally like certain DSA concepts like trees and linked lists. I personally studied from Anuj Bhaiya. At least he made it very clear what exactly we have to do. Then is Code School and Tech, those other programming YouTube channels, which are very much useful. When you will explore, you will see how useful these YouTube channels are, and there are much more. So you can add to your bucket list these YouTube channels. And third is Code Forces for competitive programming, because I did Code Forces and I'm still doing it. So Code Forces, if you are doing competitive programming in Code Chef, then go for it. Don't change your schedule or something, because what we are preparing is according to our pace and not somebody else. I understand that. Okay, so this is about my preparation, and I'm still preparing competitive programming. Now the question arises, many students ask me that the competitive programming, is it very necessary, or like if we prepare for placement, is it enough, or competitive programming is a must for placement? So I would say if you have to crack big MNCs, if you have to crack big companies like Google or Microsoft or something, you have to go for competitive programming, because the questions they ask are a little bit of from that. But if you're preparing for placements in a good MNC, like decent MNC, you have to go, then you can skip it. Like it's not very necessary, I would say. If you're doing a regular lead code, you're doing interview bit, you're doing the regular practice, that's more than enough. Okay, then is class notes. So these are the class notes. This is my personal, there was a personal professor for me. So his name was Manjeet sir, and I would say Java or C++ notes. I will drop the link in the description box. You can refer the Java and C++ notes from this professor, and a professor just suggested us this notes, and I hope if these notes help you, that's enough for Java and C++. So I'll drop a link in the drive link, and you can open it anytime and download them and study from there. Then referring to SD sheets, as I told you, Love Bubber and Urge Goal and Striver sheets. Urge Goal 45 days challenges also there, you can cover it and learn many things. Then is other platforms like GFG and InterviewBit. GFG is a good platform for practicing rough questions and company-wise questions. So you can go for GFG and InterviewBit. Then there's a cheat sheet. Cheat sheet, DBMS, drawings, normalization, etc. is like I will drop that cheat sheet in the description. You can check out there. Then you have to keep a hands on time complexity and space complexities of all algorithms. So this is something very much asked question in the interviews, that how can you reduce the time complexity and space complexity of the given program. So you have to be very crystal clear of this concept, because this is a base of programming. So this was all about resources use and syllabus. Now moving on to the level of lead code questions. So what is the level of lead code questions you require for the Oracle internship? So I would say that you have to practice almost all easy type of questions, and mostly in the way round medium type of questions were asked. They were like rarely any hard question. It was not very hard, but you have to keep a hands on like new upcoming programming questions like APIs. What is an API? What are the programming code of APIs? So this was a new question asked this year, and this is all. So now moving on to advice or suggestion. So my advice to everyone before starting with DSA, before starting with DBMS or any other concept, you have to be a good programmer, and for being a good programmer you have to learn at least one language properly. You have to know the concepts of that language. You have to be crystal clear what is in that language. You are able to code each and every condition based program, including the program of Java, C++, or Python. So you have to have an hands on every language. At least if you are good in Java, then you should have a knowledge about C++ and Python syntax. If you are good in C++, you should have a little bit idea about Java and Python, because many times in OA, many times this happens that they don't give a choice for language switches. So many times this happens, as I have seen on my own. So there was a question, my second OA question was fully in Python. There was no choice to write that question in C++ or Java. So at least I would suggest go for either C++ or Java and Python. So you have to at least keep two languages. Then second point is knowledge about certain topic, extra topics which are frequently as like API, dynamic programming, operating system concept. So operating system concepts is a theoretical subject which BTech CS students and IT students have as a subject. For EC students, they don't have a subject like operating system, but you can prepare operating systems through Gate Smashes concepts and Gate Smashes videos. I will drop a link in the description box. You can check out there. Then, talking about what is the suggestion or advice, the main advice I would say in this video, in this overall video, which I expected you to be sitting for so long, is that consistency. So, consistency is the key. If you are consistent, you can crack any company's interview. If you're consistent of what you're doing, you know the concept, you know what are the questions, what is the logical approach of the question. And if this approach is not there, you can go for other approach also. You know the approach. So this is something which matters a lot. You have to keep a hands on of every single thing. So consistency is the key. This is not like I'm not speaking for I'm not buttering or something. This is something which I personally felt. I was not a very consistent student, and I was never consistent with my coding because I was not able to do that properly. Whenever I tried something new topic, I always forget it last one. So this should not happen with you. You have to keep a track of what you have studied and what you are going to study. Okay, so this is something very important. A push towards yourself, be clear of your aim. So you have to be very clear. You have to crack this company. Take a list. Take top four companies list that you have to crack at least one of them. Because if you'll prepare for four, you are preparing yourself for other 10. You have to keep this in your mind. So be very clear of your aim and keep things light and believe on yourself. That's all I could say. Because it's not so difficult. There is a hype in this like market that go for MNCs, crack this, do this sheet, do that. No, just take a long breath and you can do it. I would say just believe on yourself, because enjoy coding, enjoy learning new concepts. You are learning for yourself, and I would say that if you will enjoy this, you can do anything, because you have to be very patient with yourself. So if you are patient yourself, you can do anything. So be very light, be like happy, believe on yourself, and that's it for this video. I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, kindly like the YouTube channel, kindly subscribe my YouTube channel, and for more videos like this, you can just say it in the comment section. And if there is anything you didn't understand, and if there is any question you still want to ask about Oracle internship or something, I can tell you. Till then, bye bye.